Welcome to Tornado Talk. I'm your co-host, Wes Spikerman, a senior from Wayne, Pennsylvania.
And I am your other co-host, David Mosley, a senior boarding student from Driggs, Idaho.
And this is Tornado Talk.
Nice, that was actually pretty good.
I love that intro. Guys, we are super lucky today. We have a very, very special guest, the first ever guest from GPS, the girls' preparatory school, Macaulay's sister school.
Yeah, first ever.
So
Cool.
big welcome to Colette Smith, class of 2023.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was
pressure.
the first GPS guest.
I know, no pressure.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Look at me go.
Look at you. So I guess we'll start off the way we normally do with a little game we like to call Quick Fire.
So the way Quick Fire works is we'll just give you some prompt, right? We'll be like, all right, how do you feel about this? And then it's just the very first thing that comes to your mind. Don't think
Sounds
about it.
great.
You just have to answer.
Nice. Okay.
All right. I'll let Wes start off with the first one.
Sweet. So the first question, what is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Ooh. Okay. Heart and Souls. That's like, most people have probably never seen that. It's Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
It's good. It's good.
What's it about? I've never heard of that one.
Okay, it's about a kid who, it's not like The Sixth Sense where it's like horror, but it's about a kid who finds out he can talk to like dead people.
Okay.
And it's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny.
but-
It's funny.
Oh,
Talk to
okay.
Debbie. Okay. All right. I see.
Moving on. Next one. Dream car.
Dream car, ooh, just any Tesla. I think they're so cool.
Okay, yeah,
Like, I
that's
know
valid.
nothing about cars, but yeah, Tesla.
They can do that. I know they can do like this. I know on some of them. I don't know which model it is. They do like, it's like they call it dancing mode, and it almost looks like a butterfly because it like the doors open up and then like the headlights flash and it like starts twisting the car around.
Oh, that is cool.
I don't know why I think that's
Very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Next one, hardest class at GPS.
Ooh. Oh, it's definitely chemistry. Definitely chemistry my sophomore year. My answer is quite literally, I'm just bad at it.
Okay.
Like, I think my poor teacher did everything he could to help us, and I think I'm just bad at it.
So
Fair
who
enough.
teaches chemistry at GPS?
It's Mr. Sanders,
Okay.
which he's awesome. I'm probably his worst student that he's ever had. I do
No
not know
stress.
how I passed that class.
I also thought chemistry was pretty difficult. Granted, it's a lot easier at Macaulay than it is at GPS.
I don't want to hear it.
All right, next one. Cats or dogs?
There's a right answer
There
for
is
this,
a
by
very
the way.
much right answer.
No, the answer is both. I can't choose.
That's not
I don't
allowed.
know. You can't choose both. It's an either
No,
or. Colette.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay, well, fun fact. I think I'm actually allergic to dogs. Like,
Well-
I took an allergy test one time and said I was allergic, but I don't care. I still love them. So I guess my answer is going to have to be cats.
No.
But
Okay. Because she's allergic. That's fair. That's
Allergic.
Fair. I'm
I
not
I mean,
gonna
that was
put her
like
on.
he's like quotations on that.
that came out of left field though, because you were like, I'm allergic to dogs, but I really love dogs, and then I was expecting it to be like, so
Oh,
of course
it's
dogs.
dogs.
And I was like, so yeah, no cats.
Although my dog is hyperallergenic. So,
Oh, okay.
show.
Chill. Yeah. I'm chilling then.
Yeah.
Hypoallergenic
Fair
talk.
enough. Okay, last one. Favorite musical.
My favorite musical, Phantom of the Opera, for sure.
Ooh.
I saw it on West End, and it was amazing.
Nice.
My
is
sister
awesome.
started crying. So
Wow.
I'm not one for musicals, but like Phantom of the Opera is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, well I guess we'll jump right in.
Let's start with some questions here. So, how would you describe GPS to someone who has never seen it? What makes it unique?
It's an all-girls school, which that's pretty unique in itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot smaller than a lot of people would think. There's only there's only just a few over 500 people there.
Mm-hmm.
And so pretty much everyone knows each other. That's kind of what I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just a very tight-knit community. There's a lot of fun traditions like May Day and Cat Rat. So yeah, it's fun. It's just a fun little community.
So, mainly because I don't understand it, but also for all of our listeners, could you explain briefly what each of those two examples, like what's May Day and then what's Cat Rat?
Okay, May Day is actually the best day of the year. It's all the seniors get like presented to the class, and there's a May Day or May Day Queen, there's a May Court, and they're selected by the seniors, and then like the May Queen selected by the entire school. And then all the grades do little dances, and then of course there's the Maypole, which look it up. And then yeah, and it's just like a huge festival. There's a bunch of like food trucks that come in. My favorite is Frios. And Cat Rat is a senior is paired with a sixth grader, and you're just kind of little buddies throughout the entire year. And I just want to put this out. I have the best rat. I win best rat.
Yeah?
My rat, shout out to Lulu Bechtel. I win best rat.
Valid. I think that's awesome
Yeah.
that they have that mentor program.
I was gonna say that's so cool. And I would say like a similar thing with Macaulay is like that sense of brotherhood, like with
Close knit community, people know each other.
100%. Would you say like with Cat Rad and with GPS, would you say it's kind of similar, that feeling of GPS sisterhood almost?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think the main like idea of GPS is all about the sisterhood. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. I can't really speak to sisterhood, but brotherhood,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I imagine it's pretty cool. I guess so. This is another question for like people who just don't know a ton about GPS. What's something, and this can be anything that comes to mind, that you would want Macaulay guys to know about GPS?
That's a good question. Most students would probably say the classes are harder, but I have to think about what my answer would be for that. That's actually a good question. There's a lot of opportunity at GPS. Like there's a lot of sports that they offer, and there's also a lot of like performance opportunities too. And what's nice about GPS is that they're not very like harsh about getting people to do activities too. And if anything, they kind of encourage it.
Okay.
So I think most people know this, but I'm very involved in like performing arts and all that. But I also do diving too. So yeah.
We have our very own diver.
It's funny you say that about diving.
Right here. Right here.
That's awesome. I did not know you did diving.
Yeah, I did it because performance opportunities were canceled. And I was
Really?
like, well, I did gymnastics at one point. Can't be that hard. So
Gordon just dragged me down there one day, and then I haven't been able to stop going since. So.
nice. That's about how it happened for me too.
That's
I was just
awesome.
kind of like, wow, this is actually kind of fun. So yeah.
Besides when you faceplant or
Yeah,
flip
that's not fun.
So, okay, you almost answered my next question because I was going to ask you about like some activities that you're involved in, performing arts and diving.
Yeah.
Do we want to like, which one's your favorite?
Sure. Oh, which one's my favorite? Probably the spring musical every year.
The spring musical every year.
Spring musical.
Okay.
It's so much fun. That's kind of like just my thing. And it's just, I don't know, musical is just so much fun. You get to meet a lot of people that you don't normally get to hang out with. And yeah, also just being in a musical is just fun in itself. So yeah.
How many have you done?
GPS, I've actually only done 2 of the high school shows, and they were both the same show. They were both The Sound of Music because one got canceled. And during middle school, I did 2. I did Annie and The Little Mermaid, but outside of GPS, I've done like too many to count.
Right.
So yeah, but I'd have to say my favorite musical that I've done, probably Annie, because I was Annie.
Nice.
But Sound of Music was also really fun too.
Yeah, I watched like your part in Sound of Music. It opens with you singing and you're sitting in the chair. It is phenomenal. It was it was magical being in that theater. That was amazing.
Thank you.
So
I was going to say, well, because you talked about acting outside of GPS, like, can we, I don't know, pursue that a little more? Like, I'm very curious to hear all about that.
Yeah, okay. I've done a lot of shows within like the Chattanooga community. Like again, I've done more than I can count. And this is a fun fact. I did one off-Broadway show in New York when I was like 12.
Yeah?
What?
So yeah, that was a really fun experience. And it's, I mean, you know, when you're like in middle school, that's not something you think about very often. Like, oh, let's just audition for an off-Broadway show one day. But so yeah, it was actually, there was a lot of going back and forth. Like, should I do it? Should I not? Because I had to take off some time from school. Then I finally decided like, okay, yes, I'm going to do it. And best decision I've ever made.
Really?
I met so many new friends. I was the only one from Tennessee, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the show was such a fun experience. So yeah.
What show was it?
Okay, it's called Show and Tell, and it's so basically what this was like an off-Broadway workshop. So like they were seeing if the show was good enough to make it to Broadway eventually. Spoiler alert, it did not make it.
Oh.
The cast was good, the show was just but it's called Show and Tell, and it's pretty much the exact same plot as High School Musical, but the main character is a girl and the guy who would be Troy Bolton plays soccer.
Nice.
Hey, love me a soccer player.
Come on, Wes.
Wow,
That's awesome.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
That's fascinating.
How'd you get into performing?
Okay, I started when I was about 5. My first ever show was Beauty and the Beast at the Signal Mountain Playhouse. I was a little napkin. The cutest thing ever.
The cutest thing ever.
I have really bad like sensory issues, if you know what that is. So my parents were like, maybe we should like put her in a musical and like see if that helps with anything. And here we are now. So yeah, I thought being on stage singing and dancing was like the most fun thing ever. And I was just like, this is so much fun. And then ever since then, like my parents started putting me in more musicals, and then I didn't really start like taking it seriously till I was about 9. I was cast in Les Miserables. I was little Cosette. I beat out like 40 girls for that part.
That's awesome.
Best moment of my life.
That's so cool.
But that was when I was kind of like, okay, yeah. I think this can like become my thing. So
do you ever feel like when you're on stage performing in front of people, do you ever feel like this sense of like nervousness, like where you get the butterflies in your stomach and all that stuff?
Okay, this is actually funny. Whenever I'm on stage performing in front of a bunch of people that I don't know, I'm fine. Because like, I'm not myself. Like, I'm fine. But the second I have to present something in front of like 3 of my friends, can't do it.
Really?
Like, I just giving an announcement in chapel is like, oh my gosh, this is the scariest thing ever. Giving my chapel talk, oh gosh.
Yeah.
I was like shaking the entire time. But no, it's so funny. Doing a musical, I don't ever get nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so impressive. I will say GPS chapel announcements look so intimidating because you guys don't have as many.
Not really. Oh wait, how many do y'all have?
We have
tons every day.
If you're listening to Mr.
I
Dietrich,
thought we had a
way too
lot.
many.
I thought we had a lot.
Because I was like at GPS chapel and there just aren't that many. Like,
No.
I would be so scared if tons of people didn't do it.
Yeah, if there's like 3 announcements per day. I mean, if you listen to Mr. Dietrich, like,
yeah, it's
if
about
you're going
like 3 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Macaulay, it's like minimum 7. And Dietrich,
Oh.
if you go back behind the chapel, if you're going to give an announcement, Dietrich's always like, all right, guys, we got a lot of announcements today. Let's make it really quick. But he says that every single day.
Yeah.
So
That's so funny.
yeah. He makes it like it's like a 20-second max limit for how long he can be up there. Got so many to get through.
Yeah. That's crazy just to like be so comfortable on stage though.
Yeah.
Are you doing the musical this year?
I am. I'm so excited. It's Mamma Mia. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
That is so cool.
That's fantastic.
So I don't want to like predict anything, but we're anticipating a little lead role action here.
I'm hoping so. I am a senior, so
Does that hurt?
huh?
Does that hurt or help?
Yeah, does that hurt or help?
Oh, it helps
Oh,
usually.
okay.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
The way you said
It
that, I was like, wait, is being a senior a bad thing?
no, it's a good thing. But yeah, I'm hoping. Again, I can't like make any predictions
Right,
because
right. Don't want to jinx it.
just-
Knocking on wood.
don't want to jinx it, and also you just never know what's gonna happen. But
Sure.
like, cross your fingers.
Right.
Fair enough.
So continuing on this theme of like musical performance, and I do Candlelight with you, but let's talk about your time and experiences in Candlelight. What is Candlelight for our listeners?
Okay. Candlelight is like a giant just music concert with like so many students from Macaulay and GPS, and it's held at Macaulay in the chapel. But the like biggest group I would assume is the choir, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. I always try to like encourage people to do the choir because I mean like it's like actual music, but at the same time it's just like fun to just like talk to everyone too.
Yeah.
And there's also a smaller ensemble. There's chorale, and it's just like for people who actually like do want to learn more music. But yeah, Candlelight in general is so much fun. It's fun to watch. It's also fun to participate in. And there are like gobs of students that do it. I don't even know what the number is, but
I remember going to it freshman year, and I thought it was just like a choir group singing in the chapel for like an hour. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then it ended up being like this 3-hour like performance where you have like strings ensemble, orchestra, men's choir, like full choir, chorale, and then handbells and all of this stuff going on at the same time in the chapel. It's so cool. And in terms of like a magical Christmas experience, I think it might be the best one.
It's magical.
It's awesome.
It's magical.
And I'm curious because I've never done Candlelight because I can't sing. Like atrocious. I mean, when you hear me, you like want to cover your ears and never listen to the song I'm singing ever again. Like, does that matter? Are there people on Candlelight who, maybe struggle a bit with singing?
Most people that do it just do it because it's fun. You don't have to have any music experience to join. Or
Oh, wow.
This is for the choir. I don't really know about the other groups.
maybe not for
To be
orchestra.
fair,
I'm saying, but the
I
choir,
cannot-
the choir's like that's a lot of people, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
there
a
are
lot
about
of
like 70
in the choir.
people in the choir. I'm pretty sure.
and
Yeah,
they're
it's tons.
not all like really
No.
good singers like the both of y'all. Lead in a band, musical expertise.
I feel like Colette has a more refined musical expertise than I do. I kind of just stand up there and scream. She actually has talent.
That's fair.
Yeah.
See, this is kind of fun because I'm gonna like interview both of y'all since you're both in Candlelight.
Nice.
Okay.
David, I'll start with you. How long have you been in Candlelight?
This is actually my very first year in Candlelight. Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
If you guys know Matthew Anderson, he kind of was just like, David, I'm doing it. You have to do this. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Try something new. And then I hopped in Candlelight, and I've been a T1 high tenor ever since.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even
As you
knows his terminology.
I know that. I was like, I have no idea what that means, Dr. Har, but label me as a T1. All right, let's do it. Yeah.
And then Colette, what about you? How long have you?
I started my freshman year. I did candlelight and chorale my freshman year, and then obviously sophomore year, GPS students couldn't participate. I did it again last year and this year, so 3 years.
Wow. Yeah. And have you been in the chorale?
Chorale.
Chorale, all three?
All three, yeah.
All 3 years? That's how you know she knows how to sing.
It's pretty cool.
And I guess this is my last one for y'all about candlelight. Like, what does preparation look like this year? Are we anticipating a bigger and better show than ever before?
I'll let you answer this one,
Sure.
Colette.
I don't know who the narrator is this year, actually. That's another thing is like there's a narrator who like kind of just talks in between the little groups that perform.
Sign me up. I love talking.
I think it's Hank Hopping. I think Dean Hopping is the
it's
narrator.
a little intimidating.
I know. I'm surprised. I wonder if he's going to be wearing a Santa Claus hat, maybe a fake beard or something. That would be interesting. So
I would never let him live that down.
Probably not. I doubt he's going to do that. He'll just show up in like a tuxedo and just be like,
Merry Christmas.
yeah.
The spirit of Christmas.
No hate on Dean Hopping. He's awesome.
I love you, Dean Hopping. But you still scare me sometimes.
I think in terms of preparation, like we're meeting at like, if you're doing candlelight and candlelight chorale, which is like that smaller group, we're meeting twice a week for like an hour and 15 minutes each meeting. And we've got music in front of us. Dr. Hars, he's the guy who runs Candlelight. He's playing the piano. We do warm-ups. We do scales. We run through all the music pieces. We're memorizing music. He works with each of the individual sections, so the sopranos, the altos, the tenors, the basses. And like, I mean, it's pretty specialized. Like, it's a lot of like.
And that's another thing about
details.
Candlelight that's a little bit more difficult. Usually choir concerts, you have like a binder in front of you, so you can like, you don't have to memorize your music, but every single thing, at least for chorus at least, is memorized.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
You got to get it down, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thankfully, some of the songs are repeated. So, like, I have all those memorized. The songs that we just learned.
Yeah.
Don't tell Mr. Hart. Dr. Hart. Don't tell Dr. Hart.
And then Colette, this is more for you. Like, what does the preparation look like for a smaller, I don't want to say more talented, but more driven group like choral?
Chorale.
Choral. It's honestly about the same. Just a smaller group.
Just a smaller group.
Technically, you meet twice as much, I guess, because, it's like, if you're just in Candlelight, then you just meet once per week for an hour 15. But if you're in both, then you meet 2 times a week.
Yeah, usually for the giant chorus, it's about like, I don't know how many songs. I'm just going to guess like 5 to 7.
Yeah.
And then chorale, it's only 2.
Yeah.
And this year, one of the songs is actually pretty short.
Oh,
so, We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Oh, I was talking about Gloria.
Gloria? Oh, yeah.
That song's pretty short.
I think they're both pretty short, but they're
They
both
are.
pretty good.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're good.
I think so. Dr. Hart might disagree.
There's always like, this is funny. I don't know if this is actually a thing or if it's just since I've been there. In chorale, there's always been like one like Latin, very choral piece. And then there's also been like a fun, just Christmas song. This year it's We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Last year I'm pretty sure last year was Sleigh Ride. That was so much fun.
Yeah. Which was the one last year where it was like 6 bajillion Christmas songs mashed into one?
That was the men's choir, and I think they'd been practicing that for like ever. And then that was the one where they kept stuttering and stopping.
Yes.
Then they would switch in a new one, but it was perfectly timed.
The 12 Days of Christmas?
Yeah.
Yes,
started
that was
that.
so funny. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And then Aaron Crowder just started singing.
That was crazy.
Rain Down in Africa. Africa.
Yeah.
Iconic.
No, that was awesome. That was so cool.
I guess this last one, Colette, this is just for you. What's the song that you're most looking forward to performing?
Probably Oh Holy Night.
Oh.
Yeah. She's the soloist.
I'm the
for Old
soloist.
Boy.
Oh, that's
So
sick.
it's very exciting. So I will say the first time this goes back to me talking about like, if I have to present something in front of 3 people that I know, the first time I ever sang the Oh Holy Night solo in rehearsal, I was like shaking more than I was for my chapel dog. And then once it was done, I was like, no. Like,
I think everybody started applauding though.
Everyone started applauding, and I
Yeah.
was like, why is everyone staring at me? But it was still fun, but oh my gosh, that was so nerve-wracking.
It was awesome. You did a great job. It was
thanks.
fantastic.
Sweet. Well, I guess to kind of wrap it up, we've got, and this is actually my personal favorite game, a little game we like to call Over Under.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so basically we will give you a statement and it's going to have a true or false number in it. So you just have to guess whether or not the number is over or under the fake number.
This will be good.
So
Okay.
if I'm like, there are 6 people in this room, if you can count, can you count?
I can count.
She can count. I can't. There would be 5 people in this room, so you'd say under.
Got it. Okay.
But it won't be quite as obvious as being able to count.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
I cannot do.
Watch me get every single one wrong. Let's go.
50-50 chance. You got it. All right, Wes, you can start off with the first one.
All right. This year, there were 5,000 people at the Baylor-Macaulay football game.
Over.
Correct. Yeah.
1 for 1.
Oh my God, I got one right.
Yeah, there were in fact 5,740
Wow.
people at the Baylor-Macaulay game. And this number was verified by the one and only William Odell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
you know it's
That's how
legit.
you know it's facts.
You know it's
official.
legit.
It's official.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this next one. Last winter, Chattanooga got 4 inches of snow.
Over.
Under. Last year, and this is Macaulay specifically, but last year Chattanooga only got 2.2 inches of snow. And this one was also confirmed by the one and only Mr. William Odell.
That's
Thank
so
you.
sad. I thought it was more. I was really excited.
I know, 2.2 inches. That's not a lot.
Mm-mm.
Okay, next one. Wow, this is super interesting. The average American spends 20 hours a year waiting at red lights.
I'm going to say over again.
Correct.
Nice.
2 for 3. Okay, this is mind-boggling. The average American actually spends 60 hours per year waiting at red lights.
That makes sense. Some of them are really stubborn.
60 whole hours then.
That's ridiculous. I don't drive.
What
I don't
could you
drive
do
enough.
in 60 hours?
I don't think I drive for 6
Wait at
hours
red
a year.
lights.
There's nothing more productive we can do with that
Nothing
time.
more productive. Nothing more productive.
All right, and this last one, tying it back into GPS. The average class size at GPS is 19 students.
I'm going to say under.
Correct.
Whoa.
3 for 4.
Okay, yeah.
3 for 4.
Yeah,
that's
really
really good.
That's a passing grade.
And I thought I was going to get 0.
So the average class size at GPS is 14 students
That makes
to
sense.
a classroom.
Mhm.
So continuing off of that, do you feel like at GPS with the smaller class sizes, only 14, girls in a class, do you get like this like personal relationship with the teacher? What does it
Oh,
look
yeah.
like, the like classroom dynamic?
You definitely do. I have friends that go to public school and like they don't even know everyone. And they're
Yeah.
like, they'll have a math class with people and they're like, oh, I don't even know who that is. And I'm just kind of like, that's so funny because like I've had a conversation with like every single person in my grade at one point. And yeah, you have a very like personal relationship with the teachers. Like you invite them to your table talk. And,
Yeah.
like, yeah. And like there's some like Mr. Lee's is actually a good family friend of mine because of my sister and me both being at GPS and being as students.
Oh,
So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
that's sick. And I've got one last question for you. And hopefully this will get out to younger GPS students. What is one piece of advice that you would give to a younger GPS student for your rat, for example?
I would say try as many things as you can because like you never know like what your passion might be because for example diving, like I would have never gone to GPS being like, oh okay, yes, I'm gonna go dive. Like it was just kind of a like let's just see if it works. And I've made so many new friends from diving, and also it's something that's just like it's fun to do. It's an activity I probably want to like continue later, not like commit to anywhere, but like a club diving team or something.
I concur.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
That's
Well,
awesome.
a huge thank you to you.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you for having me. This is so fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
A reminder to y'all listening, as always, follow us on Instagram. Colette, in fact, was looking through our Instagram last night in
Was.
preparation. So, hey, maybe if you want to be on the podcast, you could also look through in preparation.
Just scour through the entire Instagram
And like everything and comment on everything.
like, comment, upvote, subscribe, whatever. Anyways, join us next week for more hilarious stories, fun times, and interesting people
On Tornado Talk.